In this video, I'm going to share with you 13 proven marketing ideas to grow your medical spa and keep your calendars full month on month. And some of the videos and some of the things I'm going to be speaking to you about in this video are going to be very different to what you've seen all over the entire internet. But some of it is key business principles and some of it is just a drastic outlook that you need to look at differently in order to beat your competition. And before I get into that, I'm just going to talk to you about one thing. Marketing is just one aspect of growing your business. Getting new clients is just one aspect to growing your business. The whole idea of marketing is to get a new client through the door and keep that client there and make it easier for your team to be able to retain that client as well. And a lot of marketing in general is working out how can I reduce my cost per acquisition per client, and then how can I increase the lifetime value per year or the average revenue per year per customer to be able to maximize every opportunity that I get through my door to be able to grow my business. So one thing you need to understand is you need to look at all the services that you offer currently. You need to understand your break evens as a business. You need to understand what your business needs to produce on an hourly, daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, yearly basis to be basically break even. And then you need to know where your profit targets are based on your expenses. And when you break it down to like an hourly figure, that serves as a guide as to how you run your marketing. And then you've got to look at each individual service to then go, okay, what does each service cost me in product to produce the product for my clients, the service for my clients, and that's everything from including any treatments that we're going to be using on the client, how long we're going to have a staff member to produce that service, and then what do we need to be then charging for that service to make sure that it's profitable. And what a lot of med spas or medical spas seem to do is they look a lot at their competition around the local area and they go, okay, this is where I need to focus. This is what I need to do. This is where I need to charge to be competitive. And that's all cool. But at the end of the day, you could be running a losing battle where your competition is just going further down in price. And therefore, as a result, what's happening is they're out of business in 6 months and you're just starting to do go down the exact same route that they have. So everything that you market, everything that you do needs to be priced for profit. When I see a lot of businesses starting to go backwards, I like to look into these numbers to better understand exactly what it is and where you're at so that we make sure that you continually grow profitably. So without further ado, let's get into it. The first thing with any med spa marketing, first thing is to really make sure you've got a solid foundation. And what I mean by that is you're hitting on 3 main targets as a business. Number one, the business type that you are. Obviously, you're a medical spa. So things that come up like when someone looks for medical spa in Perth or Medspa Perth or Perth Medspa or Medspa near me, these types of things, you need to have your foundation set in a way so it targets that specific word. The second thing is the treatments itself. So obviously, if you've got things like medical aesthetic treatments, like Botox, or if you call them anti-wrinkle in some places around the world, or fillers, or if you like here in Australia, you just call it medical aesthetics mainly, or cosmetic injectables. Some people are still calling it cosmetic injectables. Changes based on the rules of whatever country you're in. It does change from one to the next. So there's the physical treatments itself, like body contouring, body sculpting, facial treatments is a whole word that people search for, where it's like facial near me, these types of things. And then the third thing is the concern. So it's targeting a specific concern. What is the concern? Is it cellulite? Is it pigmentation? Is it fine lines and wrinkles? Is it acne? Is it acne scarring? What is the problem that your services solve? Each 3 of these have a very different buying intent. Generally, when someone's searching for the business, they know what it is that they want, and they know that a medical spa does a specific type of treatment. So if they're searching for a medical spa near me or something like that, they kind of know a bit of an understanding of what they're looking for. So they're very product aware. The second type of person is for the treatment side. They're searching for facial treatments near me, Botox clinic near me. They're searching for microneedling near me, body sculpting near me. They're searching for body sculpting for your area that you live, anti-wrinkle treatments, your area you live, dermal fillers, the area you live. These types of things is what they're searching for when they're looking for specific treatments. And the whole idea is when someone searches for that specific word is that they see exactly what it is that they searched for. There's nothing worse than searching for, say, dermal filler treatment Perth, clicking on the page, and the first thing you see at the top is anti-wrinkle injections, and you're like, oh, did I go to the right place? That's where you lose a lot of traffic. The user experience is very important for this. The third element is when someone's searching for pigmentation treatments or best pigmentation treatments, top pigmentation treatments, best treatments for acne scarring, best treatments for pigmentation, pigmentation treatment, whatever the words are they're using, there's multiple different ones. This means that their intent is they're looking for a solution to the problem they have. So a page like this you'd put onto your website, for example, would show up, and it would give them a little bit of information around kind of what's going on, why it's happened. It could be just years and years of just not looking after their skin, too much time in the sun, all those types of things that might have gone wrong. And then what it does is it gives product or treatment recommendations, right? Which are just, I guess, disclaimer below them, changes from one person to the next based on the situation, all these types of things. But it recommends things to them because they're a little bit unaware as to what they really need for their problem. So essentially here, what we're looking to do is we're just looking to give them some recommendations. If they're a little bit unsure, we'll have a section below it that'll say, hey, if you're not sure what to book, just book a free consultation with us or just book a consultation with one of our team and we'll help you to decide exactly what you need for your concerns, etc., 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 etc. Now, there is elements where, depending on your booking system, you can create that process heaps better. I do have some preferences around booking systems that actually work more effectively to make sure that we convert a lot more people from your website, for example, with that booking system as well too. If your booking system does allow custom links and things like that, then definitely make sure that you've got that. So this is the first thing, is really making sure that you've got a solid foundation. You hit on those 3 levels. Obviously, there's other things as well too that I'll talk to you around this later on this, but this is the foundational piece. The second thing is looking at location-based pages. If you live in quite a big capital city and there's a lot of suburbs around you, essentially what you could do is you could have a look at search volume using the keyword planner, the Google keyword planner, which is in any Google Ads account. You just go to Tools, Keyword Planner, you can see it. Go to Marketing or Keyword Ideas, type in the words or the areas local to you with some of the treatments or businesses or type of business you are or concerns that you are, and look for ones that have the most search volume. And you can create individual pages on your website targeted towards those locations. Because these locations, sometimes they might be maybe 4 to 5, maybe 10 Ks away, which you get a lot of clients come from that area to you to travel. Essentially, you can just create those location pages. And if they've got good keyword volume, usually they'll have lower competition than your larger cities and things like that as well too. Like if the capital city's got 3-4 million in it, or if it's got 1 million, there'll be a lot more competition for the big capital city keyword as opposed to like those suburbs, right? So you can do really, really well just creating location pages for your business. And then it's just making sure that you've got it written in a way that essentially the words that you're using on the page then start to show up in search, right? So it's just matching what you put on the page with what people search for on a day-to-day basis, but making it sound natural and not overstuffing words through the page. So that's the second thing. The third thing is paid advertising. Now, paid advertising should only ever be used for you to be able to kind of scale up your new client acquisition, but also then drive more retention through the business and make it easier for you to retain clients. Now, when it comes to paid ads, there's two main areas to this. If you're going to run something like Google and PPC ads, you've got to have a really, really, really good landing page or a really good website, meaning that on that website, it's very well structured, it's easy to understand, it has a clear offering on it, it's not confusing. People go to your booking system, they can find exactly what it is that they're looking at on that site, and you've got to make sure it's sharp. Otherwise, you can just burn a lot of money with Google ads really fast. So you've got to make sure that you've got these things. If you want a free audit across that as well too, just feel free to go to growsalon.com, click a free marketing plan. I'm happy to go through and audit those and make sure it's going to be right for something like Google ads. So you just got to make sure that those things are important. Now, the role that Google Ads plays is you've got to look at intent on the keywords that someone's searching for. Because essentially, Google Ads are really, really good for cold traffic building. So if you're going to be running something like Facebook ads alongside it, you can basically feed your Facebook pixel essentially with high quality data of people that are looking specifically for your services, treatments, and the concerns that your business solves. Hence the reason why I said in the foundation, you've got to have that foundation right. Because when you run something like Google Ads, you can find people that are exactly looking for that type of service. So we normally recommend with paid advertising, you run the two different channels, but you run them alongside each other in sync. Because what has a tendency to happen with both types of advertising is some people go through your Google ads, they find you, they look through the pages, look through your website, they click to your Instagram and Facebook, and then they have a look through all your content there. If they like what they see, they'll inquire. If they don't like what they see, they won't inquire. So you got to make sure that what you're doing there on both of those platforms are in sync. And you'll usually get a DM on Instagram or Facebook as a result. So you just got to make sure then your sales process is right onto those types of DMs. Same as if you'd like social posting and different things, been right on top of your DMs. The quicker you want to them, the quicker they convert as well too, and the more likely they are to convert. So coming back, Google Ads, really, really good to feed the Facebook pixel, because then what you can do is with your paid ads is you can retarget or remarket that traffic, which I'll talk about later in this as well too. You can remarket to that audience of people that have come through the Google ads with very, very specific offers, because if they potentially didn't like the offers and the higher price services that you might have advertised on the site, you can run something a little bit lower barrier to entry that's still profitable. And it could be a reduced service. It could be an experience-based thing. And when you look at paid advertising, there's basically two things. And that's why you need to understand the numbers on what your gross profit margins are per service, because that's all you've got to play with your paid ads. Say, for example, you're marketing a $299 service. The margin is $130. Like the max you can spend is $130 to acquire that client, right? So, and if you spend $50 to acquire that $130 client, you're doubling your profit essentially back on that client. That's one angle. The other side is like you might run it like a complete lost leader on the advertising. So you might market something high value, $99, drive as many people through the door. But the only reason you'll run this is because you know for a fact that 1 in every 3 people that come through the door buys at least $400 worth of retail products. 1 in every 2 or 2 in every 3 people rebook with you at a $400 price point or a $1,500 package or whatever it is. You got to understand those numbers when you run lost leaders, because if you got a really solid back end to your business where you retain high priced clientele on the back end, that's where you make all your money. So when you run the paid ads, you got to make sure that you obviously know your gross profit margins per service that you're marketing, so that you can actually price things effectively to grow the business and acquire as many clients as you can for that paid ad spend. And essentially what you do is you go to any marketer and you just say, hey, going to market this service. It's $130 in it. I want you to spend as much as you possibly can. The max you can spend is $130 to acquire one client, bang. And you can scale it to the moon, essentially, then, right? So essentially, that's the whole idea of paid ads, is like you can use Google Ads to feed the pixel, and then you can remarket across on social as well as hit cold traffic. And basically off the pixel, non-technical term, it's like a piece of code that you put onto your website to track everyone that comes through onto your website, and you can then remarket them back to and jump back in front of them again as many times as you want, basically on Facebook and Instagram, right? So that's really the ultimate way in order to do it, is having those two platforms, split budget, bang. You're going to need a decent budget, and I'll talk about budgets and things like that in another video as well too. But essentially, this is what you need to be doing to be able to run it more effectively and smash your competition. So that's number 3. Number 4 is using search engine optimization to reduce the cost of what it takes you to acquire a client. So essentially what you want to do is those location pages I spoke to you about, you rank them number 1. They might get you a couple of clicks and a couple of bookings per month. The more location pages you have, the better it's going to be for your business, because you'll then acquire even more. And then if you can rank the treatments, then you can rank the problems or concerns that people have that they're searching for solutions on as well. You can rank those. Essentially, you've built yourself a beast that will acquire you clients, right? But what it will also do is it'll also feed the rest of your advertising that you're currently doing. There's a couple of levels to SEO. Number 1, first level is making sure that you are acquiring new cold traffic every single day. So that's all these long tail keywords that people are searching for, like what's the best treatment for pigmentation, what's the best treatment for blah, 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 whatever it is. What is body sculpting? What is Botox? What is a medical spa, right? What's a medical spa do? Like all these types of things that people are searching for, answering those questions in blog content pieces, getting more people in to the rest of your marketing channel. And we call this the marketing vortex, because once someone comes in the top end, they then start seeing you on other places on Google. They then start seeing you on other places through social. And, we have some of our clients that say to us, look, the people that came through the door, they said, I've been seeing you everywhere for the last month. I see you on Facebook, I see you on Google, I see you posting and popping up on my feed, right? And this is what a real marketing machine does. You're not reliant on one form of advertising to grow your business. So your search engine optimization is that sort of way of building your cold audience. It's business listings. People trust platforms like Yelp, Trustpilot. I'll talk about directories later. They look at the citations, the location, your business name, all these types of things in it as well too. It helps to build more trust with Google, Bing, Voice AI, which when someone goes, okay, Google, or whatever, and there we go, my phone's already going off. So it builds trust with those people, and therefore enables you to show higher on those platforms. So using SEO, building, referral traffic, so getting other websites to talk about you, those types of things, and referring your website as the go-to source for what your medical spa does, these types of things. The next one is your on-page SEO. So SEO, people talk a lot around backlinking, which is important, and other websites talking about your business, things like directories, things like other people's blogs talking about you, all those types of things. Then the next one is really like your on-page SEO, which is things like your business's titles and descriptions on the back end, which a lot of people don't update or don't include a keyword in them as well too. So you got to include what that target keyword is for each individual page that you have on your website. And then the descriptions are also the same, written with a keyword in them, naturally brought through it and then that's just one element to it. The next thing is like with your content marketing, your blogging, make sure you're doing internal linking back to specific pages on your site. Doing the same thing across all pages where you just essentially hyperlink words and direct it back to specific pages on your website. So that's your on-page SEO. The next one is your email marketing. Now, with your email marketing, where a lot of people go wrong with this is they have no follow-up from their paid advertising via email to convert people, and it's the same with SMS, or they literally don't email their database enough. The richest place in your business right now is the people that have not come back in a while and the people that know your business already. Providing they've had a good experience, Salesforce has data on this. People are 80% more likely to come back to your business if providing obviously they've had a really good experience, right? So that is the richest part there to your database. How can you re-engage that person? How can you educate that person? How can you get that person back to your website again to go and book online? Can you use blog content pieces to re-engage them? Can you send out promotions? Can you do some type of newsletter a little bit more regularly? Can you, instead of just sending one email a month, can you send one a week or two a week even? And a lot of people go, oh, that's far too much. But the reality is you're only going to get probably a 20 to 30% open rate on that anyway. And if you've got 5,000 people on your database, then it's important for you to make sure that you're using this as part of your strategy. So email marketing is very important. Sending something as simple as, hey, we haven't seen you in a while, making it a lot more personalized is better than doing nothing at all. The next one is your Instagram and Facebook. Now, Instagram and Facebook, you've got to these days start thinking about video first. You're better off doing one video a week than actually doing 5 image posts per week. One video, a little bit better done, a little bit more polished, talks on some concerns that people are having, talks about some things that have been going on in the clinic, the clients you serve, the things that you've done, the conversations that you had with clients that week, that sort of stuff. Speaking on video is really important. Personal brand in today's day and age is worth so much more than any company. So getting your staff, your nurses, your practitioners on video, talking once per week, each staff member, plus yourself as the founder, talking every single week about a client that came and saw them, a problem you solved, something that you went through with somebody, some people who are unsure about something specific. Just talking about that is going to be so much more effective than anything else that you can run. Now, posting on social media isn't about acquiring new clients. It's also about retaining what clients you already have, keeping them entertained, keeping them engaged, getting them to refer their friends and family that they've probably been meaning to refer for a while and talk about you, but have forgotten about that. Maybe they've forgotten to book online. Maybe they walked out of the medical spa and they said, I'll book online later tonight, but they didn't, right? 6 months go by, and all of a sudden they see a post pop up on Facebook because they haven't seen you for a while, or Instagram, they haven't seen you in a while. They go, oh, gee, I remember I was supposed to book in. I didn't even book in. And then they just go straight to the website, bang, straight to your profile, straight to the website, book online, done, completed. Or they just call you straight away and say, hey, I've been meaning to call you guys and whatever it is, and they book a time in. So that's making sure that you're posting regularly onto your Facebook and Instagram, super important. The next one is business directories. I touched on this before, but there's heaps of different directories online that people go to confirm that they want to do business with you. Yelp, for example, a lot of people will go to Yelp, search for your business. If they can't find you on there and there's no reviews, boom, boom. Same with Trustpilot. Some people use Trustpilot a lot more regularly. There's heaps of external directories that you can get your business listed on. All of these directories also can be used as citations for your website to confirm that all the data that Google and Bing have on you are correct. Therefore, enable them to create more trust with you as a brand as well. So making sure that you're getting yourself on as many directories as possible, making sure that you're also giving reviews or getting your clients to review you on these platforms as well. We even say, hey, incentivize the reviews. The more reviews you can get, the more recommendations, the more referral traffic you'll get from these platforms of people that are looking for businesses, products, and services that you are and do. So make sure that you're getting onto as many of these as possible. If you haven't got someone if you can't do it yourself, you don't have enough time, get someone else to do it for you. Assign it to even a team member. Hey, we need to get on Yelp. Hey, we need to get on Trustpilot. Hey, we need to get on whatever other ones that you can get yourself onto as well. Next thing, content marketing. Now, this isn't just social. This isn't just Facebook, Instagram. This is also then blog content marketing. So what are the questions that people are asking online about your business? Best thing you can do is just go to Google, type in microneedling, for example, or type in Botox or fillers or anti-wrinkle or whatever it is. You'll see some FAQs pop up on that particular search. And you might have to search what is it and different things like that. And you'll see all of the different questions, little FAQs that pop up on Google of questions that people are asking about that. So your goal is to just go and answer those questions on a blog, right? To make it more extensive, you can actually choose some target keywords that you want to target. In this example, Medspa Perth, Medspa in Perth, medical spa in Perth, you might want to use that as a main target keyword. And then you might want to maybe choose anti-wrinkle treatments if you're allowed to use it in the location that you are. You're allowed to use those words. In Australia, you cannot. In the US, from what I believe, it's all good unless things have changed since I've done this video. So making sure that you're using target keywords, making sure that you're answering as many questions about the particular product or the service that people are searching for as well too. Very, very important to make sure you do that. The next one is community events. Now, nothing better than going to a community organization and sponsoring them. Going to some community events and sponsoring the local football team, the rugby team, the women's networking groups and events that they run and different things like that. Industry type based workshops and different things like that. There's heaps of them that you can do. You can go to different types of businesses. There's heaps and heaps of websites online as well too. You can that have physical locations in your city. You can go to those. You can run sponsorships across those businesses that do have large networks as well too. News sites, different things like that. There's some privately owned ones you can go to that have very, very large audiences and very high net worth audiences as well too. A lot of them in your local city, and you won't even know it. And it's a good way for you to get a really decent spread, be able to increase your personal brand and business brand, but also then to get access to some high net worth individuals. I know here in Perth, we've got one called, where I'm from, in Perth, Western Australia, there's a place called Business News here. And essentially, you can go and do some full page spreads with them. You can do their digital footprint. You can be on their email lists and different things like that as well too. And they've got some very, very high net worth individuals that are on those lists. We're talking high-level CEOs. There is male and female audiences there, aging audiences as well. So like perfect for med spas as well too, right? Because a lot of these particular audiences spend a lot of money on beauty and wellness, right? Because they understand it's an important part for their personal brand and look when they're sitting in front of other executives. Because, you know, there is some conceptions in the world that people say the better looking you are, the more opportunities you'll get. And who knows, it might be true, it might not. But there's elements of this where people just want to look good for themselves in front of their peers. So it's perfect for medical spas to get yourself put into some of these and get in front of those higher network communities. The next one is reviews. And I'm not talking about pulling up a bloody laptop and actually getting someone while they're sitting in the waiting area or in the treatment room or at front desk or wherever to just do it on your laptop, right? I'm talking get a QR code on the front desk, get someone to scan it, right? They can do it specifically from their mobile. If they need help from you there and then to be able to do that, that way you can help or a staff member can help them. And it's just about giving a template to your staff members to be able to know step by step how to do it. Oh, you got to sign into a Google account. Fantastic. So incentivizing it as well, bringing it into the checkout process. Got heaps of videos on this as well too on Instagram. You can check it out. We do a lot of this with private consulting with our clients. So bringing it in for a QR code, incentivizing it, bringing it into your checkout process. So, that incentivization, we know that from our data, 70% of people will give a review if they're like you're 70% more likely to get a review essentially if you get them to do it when they're in clinic with you right now. So definitely make sure that you bring that into your checkout process. It's super effective. Then the second last one is referral campaigns. So once again, very similar to the reviews, incentivize people to give referrals. Referrals don't query the price. They come back every month. They spend more with you. They pay more money, especially if you're hitting your higher end, biggest spenders on your database right now, because birds of a certain feather seem to flock together. So if you've got some clients that are earning really good money, they're in corporate or in business, these people are great to run referral campaigns through. Just last month, one of our skin clinics in Melbourne here, 30 new clients just from the referral campaign. And all we did is we just incentivized people and shot an email to the database and a text to get people to refer. And we just started talking about it in clinic with everybody that came through. 30 new clients just from a referral campaign. That's without paid ads. That's without all the other fancy 13 different strategies to be able to get new clients, right? And these people, as I said, they continue to come back. They continue to spend more with the business. And it's a very small price to pay to get someone through the door just to incentivize it. And essentially, you want to think both ways. How do I incentivize the person to give the referral, the name, email, contact number of the person to come in? And then how do I incentivize that person that actually got referred to us? How do we incentivize them to come to us, right? So giving it a both-way incentive program is the ultimate way to be able to just, without spending more on ads and different things like that, get them to come back. And building this once again into a checkout process at the front of the clinic, using this as a process when you get a new client from your paid advertising through, as you can see, effective, right? Like you can duplicate and halve your cost per acquisition essentially and confirm and get someone to rebook with you again. So this is just the ultimate way in order to do that. The last one is to look at complementary businesses. So number 13 is to look at complementary businesses to what you do. You're a med spa, you probably do skin treatments, you probably do body contouring, you're probably doing potentially fillers, Botox, anti-wrinkle, whatever you call it. You're potentially doing these types of services, but you probably don't do nails or you don't do brows, for example. So you could go to a busy brow bar and you could set up some sort of joint venture or relationship where you both refer business back and forth. You run some email campaigns together. You run some joint paid advertising together as well too. You can get access to each other's audiences by doing this. You can post partnership videos on Instagram and Facebook, and just gives yourself access to each other's audiences. And you could run, this is my offer, this is what we're doing, this is how we're teaming up now, these types of things. You can make it educational. You could also make it on top of that hilarious, right? If you've both got a little bit of character, or if you want to build a little bit of character through it, you can definitely do that, right? Because people buy, once again, from people, and people vibe off those types of things. And the best thing about it too is that if they've got a lot of trust with their audience and they've got a little bit of an audience, that gives you access to things that you might not have been able to get by just running your own paid ads and different things like that. Because there's a lot of people also online that don't even know how to solve the problems that they have. They just think that, hey, this is the way it is. So they never look into it. But it could be a very simple partnership that then gives you access to people that thought it was never possible. So looking at those complementary businesses to you, we normally suggest getting sort of 5 to 7 solid partners around the area. And you might go to gyms, to yoga studios, to nail salons, to brow bars, to lash bars, to name a few, right? There's heaps of different complementary ones you could do. Tax accountants, right? Looking at different businesses like that. And as your business expands as a result of a lot of these strategies, you just go, okay, tweak a lot of what I'm doing, because you're not reliant on just one form of advertising to grow your business. Because my thoughts on marketing is really you got to diversify your risk. A lot of businesses I see, and Medspas in specific, run just Facebook ads, and then next minute Facebook ads get shut down because maybe they've been running body sculpting campaigns, showed a little bit too much skin, or maybe too many people reported the ad, and all of a sudden it gets shut down, right? And the reality is these platforms, all of them could shut you down at any one stage. Hence the reason why you want to hedge your bets, where you run a few different versions of advertising and not wait for something to literally get shut down and then have to go and, okay, what's my alternative now? Because it's too late by then. This is things that I learned in 2020 the hard way that I literally do not want you to. So essentially, if you like what you heard today, click below, click the link in the profile here below, and actually just go through and book a free marketing plan. The marketing plan is valued at $1,500. You actually get a full recorded video, you get a full audit of your business, and you get at least 3 action steps that your business needs to focus on in order to grow based on the position that you're in right now as a business and where you want to go in 12 months' time. And we've done this time and time again. We've seen businesses that are at different levels as well too, and they're just looking for a bit of a leg up, like, hey, where is my money best spent that's going to give me the biggest bang for buck for my business? So just click below this video, go in, book one of those free marketing plans up on. If you still see it there, obviously it's still running. I'm not sure how long we are going to run it for real, because we do lots and lots of these, and I can only really spend a certain amount of time every month doing this myself personally. So click the link below, do that, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Cheers.